Hi, it's Chloe here, and I'm with Tiffany.
Hi.
Firstly, congratulations on a really good performance.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't know if you can see me like bouncing close to
It was
there, like
so
just
much
having a
fun
good
out
time.
there. The energy was amazing. The audience was great.
So I'd like to talk about 80s music and Let's Rock as a festival. Firstly, why do you think 80s music has lasted so long and is still so relevant now?
I don't know. There's just like a little magic around 80s music. It's a lot of fun. It's good music, first of all. It's good pop-based music. Well-written songs, fun songs. I think that, we were at the cutting edge at that time trying different instruments. Fashion was different. You could be as crazy or as sedate as you wanted. Now, I think when I listen to 80s music, it really is just toe tapping. It's lighter. There's something about it, but it's not. Sometimes I listen to the pop music of today, to be honest with you, and I love all types of music, and I really there's a place for everyone. But I have to say, and it's not really just my age, it sounds a little Disney to me sometimes. The quality of what they're writing about is not the same. Even I Think We're Alone Now, it's kind of a edgy song, It's about being sneaky and cheeky and doing, whatever you're up to at that time.
Together,
so, there's a little grit to it.
Yeah.
And I think that was some of the 80s, It was suggestive. It was a little sexy. It was a little bit of promiscuous. It had a little bit of an edge to it. And I think we've kind of maybe lost some of that. It's great. Now I'm like experiencing this whole new wave of people who are finding I Think We're Alone Now, which is amazing. And it's a great feeling to see where it lands. It lands in movies, it lands in, adverts, and in different clubs. Sometimes I walk in, I go, come on, they're playing the song because they know I'm here. They really don't. They're playing the song. So I'm like, that's cool.
That is so cool. I feel like someone's definitely told you, but your song was featured as a lip sync in a show called RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes.
That is like my favorite lip sync of all time. So the song's like directly linked to me. Why do you think like songs from the 80s are used in like a lot of TV? Like, I don't know, Stranger Things has a lot of 80s music in it, and like all these adverts and in Drag Race, for example.
Well, I think it's familiar with people, and again, if you don't know it, I know there's something cool about it. It's like I Think We're Alone Now. Really, it was just featured also in The Strangers, which is a movie that's that horror film that I love, The First Strangers. So their whole trailer is they've creeped out I Think We're Alone Now a little bit, but I think it's so cool. It's just this song, I Think We're Alone Now, finds its own way, and I'm forever grateful. But I do think, again, there's something about 80s music, that people just start to tap their toe and move their body to. It's easzy. Some of the fashion, I'm not too sure should come back. I've seen, now as I'm doing some of these festivals and stuff, I'm like, oh my, leg warmers, really?
Especially, what's it like looking into the crowd and seeing everyone dressed up in like all these neon bits and pieces and looking?
It's fun. That was the 80s. We're representing, and it's more interesting now to go to a current shopping plaza or something and see them really selling it for real again. I get a chuckle out of it a little bit, I have to say.
I feel like I'm slightly inspired by like 80s clothes and 80s music and everything, and it's crazy how it's affected the new generation.
Right.
And like, why do you think people are so inspired by the 80s, I feel like, in particular, right now?
I don't know, maybe it's the time period again as well. It's just going back to a lighter time. Right now, there's a lot of great things going on in the world, but there's also a lot of pressure. There's a lot of unknown. There's like some heavier times, even the economy and things like that. I think the 80s was a booming time. From technology to, there was much more avenues of, being able to fulfill your dreams. And, the economy was pretty good at that time for the most part.
Yeah,
and
wow.
I think that people kind of are tapping into that. Oh, I remember when. Or even if you didn't live through the 80s, you look at like the videos and you look at, some of the documentaries and you go, wow, people were really obtaining their dreams. There was still a lot of hope out there. a very positive person. So for me now in our current climate, I think we'll come full circle. We'll get it together. But, we've taken some hits, definitely.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that music is a storyteller. So the music that you're going to have now, especially if it's, rock music or maybe edgy pop or anything, it's going to talk about more heartbreak. It's going to talk about persevering. It's going to talk about being lost. It's going to talk about the bottom falling out and how you, continue to go on from there. There's some great songs out there now that are being written, but definitely it's a different climate.
On that note, I'm just interested, what do you listen to musically then?
Well, I listen to a little bit of everything, to be honest with you.
Of
Florence
course.
and the Machine, love. I listen to Foo Fighters.
Very good.
Very influenced by them. Old school stuff. A lot of, still love the Sex Pistols. Still listening to my Stevie Nicks. And it's been great over the years to kind of get to know her a little bit and to really just have inspiration from her, and that she knows I'm still doing music, and just her words, it was just keep going and living your dream. I'm so filled every time I see her, and I can spend 5 minutes with her and just get a little bit of acknowledgement. But she really is my go-to. She's my idol, and for a woman in this industry, you do sacrifice a lot. I've been lucky to be able to have a family, but definitely I've taken time off my career, and that hasn't been so much beneficial at times. But for me as a person, it's been very beneficial. So you have to weigh the odds.
I'm interested to know about your thoughts of the growth of more women being in the music industry and finally getting a voice and being on the stage rather than hidden or only the fangirls and groupies.
Right. Well, I think there's a lot of strong women out there. We're definitely better at that now. And I don't think there's really anything that a woman can't do that a man can't do, especially in the industry, from video to your work ethic to, like me now, I'm full-time out on the road. I've raised my son, he's 25. I love my family and I miss them, but I'm completely back on the career trail, and I'm out here with my band, and I'm not going to stop probably for another year and a half. That needs that type of commitment. So, my home life is really non-existent at this time. And a lot of times for a woman, that's always been a little maybe taboo, And I think also we put the pressure on ourselves to feel like we have to do both of it. And at this time, I still, definitely struggle with that. I miss my dog. I miss my niece and my nephew. I miss my family. I miss my son. I miss having Sunday roast, I'm very traditional in that aspect, but this is what I'm meant to be doing. This is what I want to do. This is what I know I need to be doing. And it's bringing me a lot of joy and happiness.
That's good. I'm glad that it is. And just to finish off, let's talk about your new album real fast. So when's it coming out? What's happening with it?
Well, the album comes out in September. New single, Worlds Away. And, again, I'm going to be doing tons and tons and tons of shows to support this album, get the message out there. People really need to see me as a live performer, because it's one thing to talk about music, and I know that a lot of people know me from the past, but I don't think they know me now. And, again, that you can only do that by offering a lot of shows and inviting people to come out and see it. So TiffanyTunes.com, we're going to be touring nonstop for the next year and a half.
Great. So everyone, check out TiffanyTunes.com.
Yes.
That's the one. Thank you so much.
Thank you.